A perfect outcome to all things is assured. Yeah, a perfect outcome to all things is assured. Yeah, I'm getting stronger every day because my faith leads the way. A perfect outcome to all things is assured. In every situation, there's a blessing somewhere. Come gather, brothers and sisters, and we'll see that it's there. Ooh, I need you. You need me. Yes, you do. And that's how our happiness is guaranteed. Take it, boys.
And now, in all your doings, be you blessed. Through you is ushered in a world unseen, unheard, yet truly there. Holy are you, and in your light, the world reflects your holiness. For you are not alone and friendless. I give thanks for you and join your efforts on behalf of God, knowing that they are on my behalf as well, and for all those who walk to God with us.
To all things is assured. A perfect outcome to all things is assured. I'm getting stronger every day because my faith leads the way. A perfect outcome to all things is assured. A perfect outcome to all things, yeah, is assured.
Wee doggy! Wee doggy!
It has to happen. It has to happen.
Hey everybody! Oh my goodness, I'm so happy to see everybody.
Okay, I hope everybody is staying cool. You know the theme today is the beach. Did you notice the theme today is the beach? So I see everybody has got the message. We're all like sipping our beverages, you know, in our beach wear. You know, look at those beach bodies out there. I'm telling you.
Oh yes. Not here.
No. Beach. No, did I say beach? I meant beached. I'm sorry.
On the couch.
I'm sorry.
You're so silly. Oh my God.
I'm so glad. You know,
we're so glad
thank
you're
you
here.
for your
We really
practice,
are.
as
Thank
we
you.
always
Yeah.
say, because it takes a village to raise one of me, right? So,
Couch surfing.
Couch surfing.
My drink almost went through my nose.
Well, you know, it's a perfect outcome to all things.
That's right.
Right. So
you get a clean sinus.
I know.
You know.
A Coke lavage. If you've ever had a Coke lavage, you know that you have experienced God. You know, because your whole head is exploding. You know, if you've ever accidentally shot cold Coke into the top, cold Coke into your sinuses by laughing so hard. But glad you're here tonight.
We are. Thank you, everybody. So, I just wanted to say that, unfortunately, I missed. Hey, Jacqueline's here too. Hey, Jacqueline. I missed this morning because I was filming a little TV show, and this is a very silly TV show, but I was really happy to do it. I play this crazy lady that cuts off her husband's head and makes it into a candle.
She's a really good villain. She is a really, really good villain. You would, well, you might. If you've met her, you probably know she's a really good villain.
Really now? I don't think so. It's very, very funny. I know, right? Jacqueline's like, look at Glen. Yeah.
No,
Give him the one too.
No,
there,
it takes
Jacqueline.
it takes some the best really best villains are played by the kindest people
Oh, well,
because
I
they're
haven't
never
met
they're
that,
never
yeah.
played like villains.
Yeah, yeah.
Villains
Yeah.
because the kindest people don't ever play the villain like the villain is the villain. They're playing the villain like the victim.
Yeah.
You know, it's beautiful.
Well, anyway, that's just where I was this morning, and I can't wait to see the playback because, wow, Glen was glowing, and it sounded like it was just so wonderful. So, we will continue the fun. We will continue the fun. And I'm so glad Doreena's with us today because I was actually going to go back to where you were. I was actually going to play something, and now I'm going to change my version because if you don't know, Doreena's on the West Coast, but we used to sing together all the time, and we have several versions of songs that you've heard me do in the sanctuary before. We have put this song in there, and I have several versions. God is condemning us. There we go. I have several versions of me and Doreen singing it together. So, in just a minute after the prayer, we will play that. But first, how about a sing-along? Everybody ready for a sing-along? All right, I'm going to put it in the chat. Okay. So,
Oh, this is so fun.
this is fun.
This is fun. You remember this one, right?
Y'all have done this with me before. But, okay, so I'm going to call.
I'm going to try to respond.
So follow Glen if you don't know what you're doing. But it's, I love myself, I love myself, I forgive myself, I forgive myself, and on. And the little verses in there too, so you can sing it with us in unison.
Tell
Opportunity
it.
finds, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
This came from.
so this is, yeah, really, this is based on Louise Hay affirmations, which I learned in the 80s. And I have to tell you, and I've said this before, but really this list of affirmations just pulled me out of the darkest place I think I've ever been into. And, you know, just really has stuck with me all those years because I contracted AIDS in the 80s. And, of course, Louise Hay was here in the city doing a lot of meetings. And actually, Marianne Williamson was, too, very active in creating ACIM circles and healing circles and things like that. So the both of them I ran across in the 80s as I was experiencing this diagnosis. And, you know, it just really, really, really helped me. So so I love to sing it. And so let's share it together. Okay, here we go.
Powerful mantras of healing.
Yes! And thank you, Sina, for all the gorgeous music you were playing earlier. We were like, oh, just floating on a cloud. I love myself.
I love myself.
I forgive myself.
I forgive myself.
My life feels good.
My life feels good.
I can have what I want.
I can have what I want.
So I choose joy.
I choose joy.
And I choose peace.
And I choose peace.
I love myself. I forgive myself.
I forgive myself.
My life feels good.
My life feels good.
And I can have what I want.
I can have what I want.
So I choose joy.
So I choose joy.
And I choose peace.
And I choose peace.
Here we go now. Opportunity finds me. I create what I need. I'm open to suggestions. I accept success. I take responsibility. Abundance flows through me. And I prosper. You prosper. We prosper. suggestions. I accept success. I take responsibility. Abundance flows through me, and I prosper, and you prosper, and we prosper. And a 1, 2, 3, because I love myself. I forgive myself. I forgive myself. My life feels good. My life feels good. And I can have what I want. I can have what I want. So I choose joy. I choose joy. And I choose peace. I choose peace. For all beings. For all life. For the universe. Because I love myself. Thank you. That's so much
People
fun.
have, we have pulled people in off the street with that one. That off the sidewalk. It's like, what the hell haven't we, Doreen? What the hell is going on in there? What is going on in there?
I
wanna
love
be a
Marisol's
part
joined
of
us
that.
too.
Yes.
Thank you, Marisol.
Yeah.
And Jack, JAC. Oh, wow, cool. Thanks, everybody, for coming today. I just feel so awesome because it was my birthday this week.
I know.
The same day as our dear sister, Connie Poo.
I know.
And Connie was in Paris, but I was not.
We were eating really good sushi, though.
Yeah, we had a really great time Friday night on my birthday, and it's just so fun. And of course, Regina's was this week too. Hers is on the 2nd, so we have a Leo lineup today.
Surrounded by
lovely Leos, as you always are.
I know.
So let's see, where do we start today? You want to start with the
This bull's
lessons?
surrounded by lions. What am I to be nervous about? What am I to be nervous about? This bull surrounded by lions.
Oh my goodness. So let's see. We are on the workbook lesson.
Oh yeah. Well, I just want to make a simple, make a quick simple reminder that this is the part of Course. This is a part of Course in Miracles where they really give us you an opportunity to change your habits and really put a deep groove in your mind. They say it takes 21 days to break a habit or to create a new habit, right? It takes scientifically or whatever, they've knocked it down to 21 days or whatever.
Okay.
So in this part of the review of A Course in Miracles, she wants you to say, I'm not a body, I am free every half hour for 21 days.
I know, right? I know.
How essential do you think that lesson is to get through our brains in this awakening process, to pull us out of the suffering of this belief of ourself as a thing? That's how deep this goes. That this is the you were talking about earlier, this purification process.
Yeah.
Right? And so this a lot of what spiritual awakening is this purification process. And so that's got to be okay. You know, it really has to be okay because we develop momentum and it ceases to be so gritty. But in the beginning, it can be kind of gritty. They even say it like, even if you're doing AA or a recovery process, and even in Course in Miracles, she goes, sometimes you'll get all this course and drastic things will happen to you, but don't make any big decisions. Don't make any big things.
Well,
But your life begins to change because our belief systems and the actions we take begin to change, and momentum begins to change. But it can get very gritty, and it doesn't for everybody. But for a lot of us, it gets gritty for a little while.
And that's okay.
And that's where we are in A Course in Miracles. So what do you do? What do you do in these situations? Well, we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. But I just want to. I am not a body. I am free, for I am still as God created me. Every half hour for 21 days. See if you could do that.
And we even have a little song. It goes like this.
I am not a body, I am free.
I am not a body, I am free. For I am still as God created me. I am not a body, I am free.
That's true. All those days ago.
We had so much fun. We've had a lot of fun with these workbook lessons over the years. We've written songs and done all kinds of things. And we're currently, like Glenn said in this review, and we're on lesson 218, which does start with that. I am not a body, I am free, for I'm still as God created me. And I have to say that it's taken me years to really manifest, I think, what that even, how that plays out pictures in my life. Like, I have not understood
what you pay attention to, where your values are, you know, all kinds of stuff.
My thoughts, you know, my emotions, all of those are in the realm of the body, and it has taken me many years to understand that I am not those things, you know. So what am I? Well, the Course says I am free. Wow, can I get used to that? You know, that's what I'm working with
not
now.
Free, like not a thing.
Yeah, not
right?
a thing.
Like not nailed down to a weighty beginning, middle, and end of a something.
Yeah.
See, free from the cycle of what we're all talking about.
Yeah.
Free from the worry about safety. Because that's what safety is always the condition of a material object.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, oh, I'm all about the conditions of material object. I don't care what it is. It's like, oh, that's happiness? That cannot be happiness. No, that cannot be happiness. My whole life is centered around the maintenance and condition of material objects.
No.
Mine, yours, if, you know, it can't. It just
that's where
it just can't.
That's where you get crazy. That's where I get crazy. Is like trying to figure all that out.
Or catching yourself in that belief system goes, oh my God, I found myself in the paradigm again. And then like slowly.
But there's but you know what? Because really, you know, for many reasons, we've just been able to release so much of that, and I'm at this point now that I really want to share with you because my whole life long, my dad set me up for this. Now, here we go, you know, bless his heart. He didn't mean to, but anyway, you know, I've always been an artist, you know, and that's all I've ever wanted to do. And when I went to college, you know, they wanted me to major in something else, and I was like, no, I'm going to major in art and theater, you know. And my dad, he was like, well, you know, you're never going to make any money. And then he was like, you're going to have to marry a rich woman. You know what I mean? Because he was raising me as a boy. So he was like, you're going to have to marry a rich woman to take care of you. Well, I married this one.
I know.
He's not rich, folks.
I know. Two strikes against me already, you know?
You're not a woman and you're not rich.
I know.
Okay. So, but that little voice, you know what? Have you ever had that little earworm, you know, that just keeps digging and digging and digging? So what I've realized lately is like my whole adult life adventure sort of in New York City and everything to, you know, become the star, you know, whatever it is. Yeah, the operative word is become instead of be, you know. So that whole journey, the little earworm has been in my head, you know. You're always going to be poor, you're never going to have any money, blah, blah, blah. Well. Thank you, Jesus. You know what has happened? I don't have that little earworm in my head anymore. It is gone, y'all. It's disappeared. And I'm thrilled about it. And I know it's just simply because of practice, you know, of understanding who I truly am, you know. And so
I just want to point out,
releasing the I am bad belief, you know.
It's funny how we often recognize it when it's not there. Because we use it, so something's not normal. It's like something's new. Oh, something that was, there's a new normal. So we only recognize it when it disappears, like unclenching a fist. We have more energy
I
or
do.
something like that.
Yeah.
Often that's how we recognize it in reverse.
And, you know, it really is is evident now, because early on in my relationship with Reverend Jacqueline here, we were in a program, and Jacqueline kicked back one day, and she just put her hands behind her head, and she said, why don't we just row your boat and flow down the stream, or something like that. And I was like, wow, really? We can live that way? And in a private conversation later, she said, yeah, that's really the way the world works. And so ever since then, I've been able to just loosen all of my anxiety around that. Just pick up your feet and float down the street. Yeah, I do. It was something like that. And that really inspired me. In fact, Jacqueline and I wrote a song about that.
What are the odds?
What are the odds? Because I always write songs, But I did. I wrote a song about that, and I'm, going to work on it for my new CD, which, by the way, is coming along really beautifully. I'm recording, putting some finishing touches on the first song next Friday, actually. So by the time we get around to Sounds of Awakening next Sunday, I'll have some news for you. So I'm really happy. Things are going well. But why don't we look at the lesson and then do our prayer?
Yes.
Okay. So, lesson 218, I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. And the lesson we're reviewing is 198, only my condemnation injures me.
My condemnation keeps my vision dark. Okay, that's a paradigm, it's a worldview, right? My condemnation, how I see the world and my intent, what I think everything is for, keeps my vision dark. And through my sightless eyes, I cannot see the vision of my glory. I cannot see myself. I cannot. Because what am I looking at? Myself is us. Myself is all of us. I can't see my glory. I cannot see my glory. Yet today I can behold this glory and be like, it's possible. It's possible today I want to see the glory instead of condemnation, no matter how I'm feeling. Yeah, I'm not a body. I'm free.
I am still as God.
These are.
I love it.
It's a. I keep finding over and over and over again. It's a real attitude. It's a way of approaching. It's like she says, it's a perspective. It's why the Course uses the term correct perspective so much, right? Because it's a perspective. It's a literal way of positioning your attention and belief system.
It is. It is. I'm so grateful.
It's natural. I don't have to. I have to let go of and will manifest within me, and not anything that I have to work at. I have to work at actually not doing that, which is how wonderful it is, because it gets easier the more you let go.
It does. It does. So let's breathe. Let's breathe and and we'll do a little song afterwards. Here we go. Joy, 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 joy to be in this room together with this wonderful community where we are all co-creating this unconditional circle of love that includes everything that we like and everything that we do not like. But we do not have to fear what we do not like, because God has condemned us not. There is no condemnation. Nothing is wrong. Everything is working perfectly, exactly as it's supposed to. I am totally, amazingly grateful for that. So, my dear family, shall we be together today and enjoy that which is truly ours, and know that God has condemned me not. Blessed be, and so it is. God has condemned me not. God has condemned me not. God has condemned me not. No more do I. No more do I. I was mistaken. I did not realize the source from which I paid my holiness remains. My holiness remains. All the mistakes I made are simply illusions. I let them go today and receive God's word. I trust in God's word. Love which created me is what I am. I seek no more today. Love has prevailed. God has condemned me not. God has condemned me not. God has condemned me not. No more do I. No more do I. No more do I. Oh, I just,
I know.
oh, so happy.
So we could just play that over and over and over again for just the message, right? You just, okay, yeah, we're done, right? We're done because that's if we could just get that message through our head, really, you know, and I recognize that message as a joyous message today.
Oh yeah.
You know, that I had been living under my own oppression and never God's oppression.
Right.
Right? It was under my own weight of stuff. It wasn't ever God or whatever that was doing this to me,
yeah,
right? So
exactly.
so what a relief But, you know, it's melancholy at the beginning, isn't it? Because you realize you did it, right? I did it. And it's a little bit melancholy for me at the beginning. So then you come out of it, and it's joyous. And then when you see somebody else begin to go through it, you can say, don't worry, darling, it gets a whole lot better. Because people did that for me, too, right? It says, I know, it feels gritty, it feels weird right now, right? So let's keep moving. I'll hold your hand while I'll hold your hair while you barf, right? Because this stuff has to come out. You're going to look at yourself. You're going to look at yourself, and you're going to say, OMG, about 100 times a day after you wake up and you forgive yourself and you decide that you're not going to condemn yourself anymore. You're going to OMG yourself about 100 times a day.
Preach it.
You know?
Truly.
You're going to cringe and stuff all over yourself. You know? As you forgive yourself and you go, oh my God, I cared so much and this was my whole life.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it's just
it's
such a beautiful message.
Right. So at this point in A Course in Miracles, we're this is we've reached the top of the mountain. I've talked 2 weeks on like the top of the mountain. We've got to the mountain. You can see last week we're at the top of the mountain, and she goes, see through the clouds to the valley below, because you're going to go back down to the valley. We need you to see correctly and not get lost in the clouds as you go back through. Okay? Go to the top of the mountain, see the layout, know what you got to do. You see it now. You know what is yours to do. You're not fooled anymore. Those were clouds all along, and you can walk through them and blah, blah, blah. So you're not fooled anymore, right? You know who you are. You know what you're about. You know what you're doing for the best you can, right? The best you can. So then you're headed back down the mountain. You're going through the clouds. That's where we are in the Course in Miracles. You're going to rejoin society with your new understanding of yourself, and you're going to approach your life in a different manner because you know better. Because you're seeing yourself and you know better, so you're not going to make the same mistakes you go to the mountain. I've been to the mountain, right?
Yeah.
I have changed. I have been to the mountain. I've changed. So I'm going to act like it, right? I'm not fooling around anymore. It's funny stuff will begin to happen. Friends will come back into your life, and other people will scatter like the wind. You know, that's what gets kind of gritty about it. You got to know.
And it's okay.
And it's okay. So I got to give you this image. I'm so excited about finding this image.
Oh yeah, okay. You're gonna share it.
I know.
Right? You gotta share.
Yeah, I know. This is so fun.
So cute.
So what I try to do in this book that I send out every week is to give you a visual idea of what this is all supposed to look like or feel like, or something that you can remember. So me and Holy Spirit go through like Google Images and a few other places, Flickr and Pinterest and all the other places, to find with keywords to find what I'm looking for. This is what the Holy Spirit showed me.
Okay, and so just a caveat for those that don't know what he's talking about when he says booklet, is that he puts out a booklet on the lesson that we're going to work with every week. And if you want to receive that booklet, and we talk about it on Wednesday nights, and we also talk about it here on Sundays, but if you want to receive the booklet, which some people do, just email me, Yolanda@yolanda.net.
Okay, so this is the bit of what the booklet looks like. You'll get. But this is the image. Don't you love? I love these. I love these two angels. I really love these two angels. I have to say, I know. The one on my right, is doing the Egyptian. Looks almost like she's doing the Egyptian, and the one on the other one is doing the wave. You know, as they're in this stained glass in this old Gothic medieval church in, I think it's Wales or Scotland or something.
So funny. He's been tickled about this all week.
The company goes, I've seen myself. I'm enlightened now. Hello, world. I'm coming. Into the world. I.
Here we are.
It's joyous. It's finding ourselves and who we are. It's joyous. I can't wait to share myself with the world. Right? Isn't that the other part of knowing who you are? You've just got so much jazz and so much love to give away. Right? Doesn't it feel like that? You're just descending from the mountain. I got God to give away. Yo, wow, yay!
All right, we better get to it because it's
okay. So that's the image of what we're trying to do, and this is the attitude that this looks like. Okay, so I won't share that much more. So this is the attitude that looks like. So 16 paragraphs. Read what I've highlighted in the first one, and we'll talk, and we'll just say something briefly, and we'll keep going.
Yeah, for each thing.
This is called Healing and Faith. It's chapter 19. Next week is the obstacles to peace. Chapter 19 is the attainment of peace. So she's going to talk about how we approach the world, how this coming down from the mountain. How do we approach the valley again, seeing correctly? So keep going.
What is dedicated to truth as its only goal is brought to truth by faith. This faith encompasses everyone involved, and everyone must be involved in it, or else your faith is limited and your dedication incomplete.
This is what I call the totality. Okay, this is what I call the totality. She makes a couple of reminders here. She goes, dedicate all situations to peace. The attainment of peace is the measure of our dedication to it. What is your intent in every situation? Your experience of it and attainment of it will be a measure of your intent for it. Pretty straightforward. And she reminds us that peace without faith is impossible. That is how it works. Peace without faith is impossible. So if you want peace, you have to be able to believe in have to have faith in what you both agreed to, even if it's like a war pact or whatever like that. Peace is the belief in the faith that somebody's going to do what they say they're going to do.
Okay.
Right. So the method to get to this world of peace is counterintuitive. It's the totality. It's having faith in the totality of things, that it encompasses everyone. And she says, because it encompasses everyone, this holy instant, right? This is how meaning is perceived. It's perceived as oneness. It's because of the oneness. The oneness makes the meaning, because everyone's involved. Like our theme song says, everybody's here.
Oh yeah.
Melting into one,
presence.
You're melting into presence. It has meaning, and we have meaning, and we can move forward in this light and love and trust of the world because we're whole. I can have faith in that in us, right? Mm-hmm. The way Cindy says, I love us, right? So everyone is involved.
This next line I absolutely love.
Yeah.
Every situation properly perceived becomes an opportunity to heal the Son of God.
See.
And he is healed because you offered faith to him, giving him to the Holy Spirit, and releasing him from every demand your ego would make of him. And this is healing. Yeah. Healing is when you release your brother from every demand your ego makes of him. Mm-hmm. The body cannot heal because it cannot make itself sick. It needs no healing. Its health or sickness depends entirely on how the mind perceives it and the purpose that the mind would use it for.
Would you read that again, please?
The body cannot heal because it cannot make itself sick. It needs no healing. Its health or sickness depends entirely on how the mind perceives it and the purpose that the mind would use it for. For faithlessness is the perception of a brother as a body, and the body cannot be used for purposes of union.
There you go.
And the body will seem to be sick, for you have made of it an enemy of healing and the opposite of truth. It cannot be difficult to realize that faith must be the opposite of faithlessness. Yet the difference in how they operate is less apparent. To dedicate yourself to both is to set up a goal forever impossible to attain, for part of it is sought through the body, thought of as a means for seeking out reality through attack. The other part would heal and therefore cause upon the mind and not the body.
Do you see the different approaches? Do you see the way we've been taught to approach the world and our body and problem solving versus the way the Holy Spirit says, this way of healing that I'm offering you, this way of seeing that I'm offering you could be a better, could be something more enjoyable for you. So, and I call this this concept I call the dedication to wholeness and healing. Like, what are you dedicated for? I was talking about this last week. It says, what do you want to do with all your time here? What's your intention for? Anyway. The reminder, the reminder here that she wants to build this idea on, it's the method of A Course in Miracles. She tells you what it is, and then she tells you why you won't do it, but she builds on these concepts before she tells you what the solution is. So the concepts she's building on today are healing is the correct perspective. Healing is a correct perspective on your body, on what to do. It just means you know what to do next, right? Every situation is an opportunity for healing. Well, of course it is, to see things correctly.
Yeah.
Faithlessness is identity in form. I don't have faith in who I am. I only have faith in what I can feel and what I can touch and what I can manipulate and what I can see with my own eyes. And that's really limited. It's identity in form. The truth is the absence of illusion, okay? Illusion is the absence of truth. They don't go together. You can't say, oh, just a little bit of illusion, please, just around the edges to make it glitter and pout. You're just a spoonful of sugar, madam, to help the medicine go down, right? I said, could I just have a little bit of illusion with my God so spruce up God just a little bit more because, this reality stuff, it's not enough, right? Being all the way here certainly isn't enough. We need something else to do besides be here now. That's the difficult part, That's the realization about how powerful we are. Actually, we begin to look at how powerful we are, and the responsibility and joy that comes with it. We don't think speaking for this one, I didn't think this body could stand all that joy. People will think you're crazy. I mean, the memo in my ego says you can't act that way, believe that way. People will think you're crazy.
Well, you are kind of crazy. Well, you're a bit crazy.
I am. I don't think I'm probably the only 60-year-old man in Brooklyn that still skips to the bus, but I might be.
We hold hands and skip.
We certainly do. So, what the reminder here is, I call this the dedication to wholeness and healing. So the reminder is every situation is an opportunity for healing. Healing is the correct perspective. Faithlessness is identity in form. And the method is to have faith in what Yolanda was saying in the prayer, is to have faith in what is. To release the world from my narrative. My past, the way my narrative has got to go. Yeah. And have faith in what is. Because there is a purpose in form. She's trying to say the meaning of the purpose in form isn't something that you're going to decide. It's something that the wholeness needs and will reflect in you as this learning device. The purpose of form, the body, and this is the understanding that if we are form, if our identity is form, then our body is a weapon. If this is true, that our identity is form, that our body is an instrument of illusion. And that's inside the paradigm of materialism. Because the body sees what is not there, because it sees with the body's eyes, because it's not actually seeing. You can talk to Cindy if you want to go into the physics of all of that. Yeah. Cannot hear, because we're hearing through the body's ears. It's insane behavior. You want to know what insane behavior is? Performance and ritual. I'm performing this. I perform my gender. I perform my my class. I perform my, in rituals. These rituals that signal things in a culture. She calls these things, this learned behavior, insane behavior. And it's imprisoned by insanity. It's imprisoned by belief, all because our identity is wrapped up in this. In a body, and making sure that this is behaving and moving in a certain way. That's all the time you got. She goes, is that your life? That's really your life? That's what you think this is all for? The maintenance and the care of this glorious learning device that you have, and maintaining other learning devices?
Telling them what to do.
And evaluating all these other learning devices about how they're doing their learning device. Oh my God! Surely we can wake up. We can wake up outside of that paradigm. Most of us have not. Yeah. And even in a lot of our lives, we have to live in a world that is set up with that paradigm. So she's asking us to choose faith or faithlessness, to remove the limits or to limit, to make whole or to attack. To remove these obstacles, release the people from the past, or interpose my own delusions, and now I gotta police everybody. And she goes, one is dedicated to the truth and one is dedicated to the illusions, and begin to suss this out. Keep going.
The inevitable compromise is the belief that the body must be healed and not the mind. For God gave healing not apart from sickness, they are together, and when they are seen together, truth and illusion have no connection. Each is united, a complete thought system, but totally disconnected to each other. The idea of separation produced the body and remains connected to it, making it sick because of the mind's identification with it. You think you are protecting the body by hiding this connection.
Okay, sickness is identification with form. Because if we say, no, I'm sick, right?
Right.
But that we didn't move past, see through the illusion of that thinking. See the belief system then there, just pull away and say, oh, I see it, so I can like not act on it, right? Heal the source. Heal it where we can, it makes a difference in our mind, in our thinking, in our belief, so we don't take the actions on it. That's what she's asking us to do. The world is sick because it is our body. The world is our body, right? The world is sick body because of our identification in it. We're asking it to do, behave, and be, and monitor and stuff that it's never going to, and it has no, and will never be. It's truth versus illusion. Never the two shall meet. It's never going to be. I'm never going to be a thing, no matter how much I believe it or want it or anything, and I'm never going to be the world, no matter how much I act on it or we act on it or anything. It's never going to happen. There's just suffering there. And the reminder is these are complete thought systems and complete paradigms that we can escape. If you can see it, you see the whole thing, and you don't have to learn every nuance of it. You go, oh, I recognize this world. You go, boop, out of it. If you can recognize any of it, you recognize the paradigm. You don't have to learn all the paradigm. You can just say, oh, I'm here again, and pull yourself and let go. Do you know you can do that?
Yeah, no, we've really learned that here in Awakening Together.
Yes, a good place to learn this.
You can just let go of your thought.
Right. Keep going.
To have faith is to heal. It is the sign that you have accepted the atonement for yourself and would therefore share it. By faith, you offer the gift of freedom from the past. Faith is the opposite of fear, as much a part of love as fear is of attack. Faith is the acknowledgement of union.
Aha.
Each one appears just as he is perceived in the holy instant, united in your purpose to be released from guilt.
The angel's coming out and goes, hi, we're here, released from guilt, released from the past. What would that feel like? Keep going.
Faith sees him only now because it looks not to the past to judge him, but would see in him only what it would see in you. It is the messenger of the new perception.
Okay, so the messengers of the new perception. The faith, what do you want to see in the world? What messages are we sending out into the world? The reminder here is to have faith. To have faith is to heal. To have faith is the correct perception. Have faith that it's all going to work out. The perfect act of all things is assured. Have faith in that. That's correct perception. Faith is the acknowledgement of wholeness. We're all in this together because it can't be anything else, because I am togetherness. I am the wholeness. There's no getting out of this for you or for me. And that's where our strength and that's where our holiness and meaning comes from. And each person, the person, whatever, appears only in the holy instant. Everybody's here. It is relationship. This moment is your home. This is the relationship. It's all that is. The request is to just be present, to be united, to share that purpose of being here now for what is here. This relationship with you and us, and this now is this beautiful thing that we have together. It's never going to happen again. Look, it's gone. It's like this moment, this here, what we have, what are we going to do with it? What do you want to do with it? That becomes a powerful thing that we can decide. So there she is.
Hey, George.
Glad you're here, George.
So glad to see ya.
Keep going.
Faith is as easily exchanged for knowledge as is the real world. Your holy relationship with its new purpose offers you faith to give unto your brother. Your faithlessness has driven you apart, and so you do not recognize salvation in each other.
Yeah.
Grace is not given to a body, but to a mind. Do you then offer grace and blessings to your brother, for you stand at the same
There
altar
you go.
where grace was laid for both of you? And be you healed by grace together, that you may heal through faith.
Faith to knowledge. Faith arises from this correct perception. We begin to see differently and act differently. And then the experience of this learning device puts us in line with like the direction where we're coming down off this mountain for what ours is to do. The relationship has a purpose, has a holy purpose. It's salvation. Oh, it's healing. I know what it was mine to do, and I'm connected. I'm part of this thing. And I'm not doing it alone. The reminder is this grace wasn't given to a body. It was given to a mind that is directing and learning and interacting and using and seeing through this physical thing. It's healed by grace because it is used and seen properly. Healing doesn't mean your body is going to live forever. We are healed through our faith in that this body, this material world, and my reaction to it will always be the conditions of peace for the awakening of myself and all beings. I mean, and I have a specific thing to do in that. Oh, yay! You know, that I'm really jazzed about. That's where we're at in the Course of Miracles.
Yeah.
So keep going.
In the holy instant, right now, right here, right now. In the holy instant, you stand before the altar God has raised unto himself, and both of you.
How about that?
As faithlessness will keep your little kingdoms barren and separate, so will faith help the Holy Spirit prepare the ground for the most holy garden that he would make of it.
Oh, wow.
For faith brings peace. Truth follows faith and peace, completing the process of making lovely that they begin. For faith is still a learning goal, no longer needed when the lesson has been learned, yet truth will stay forever.
Ooh.
Let then your dedication be to the eternal, and learn how not to interfere with it and make it a slave to time. For what you think you do to the eternal, you do to you.
How about that?
You can enslave a body, but an idea is free, incapable of being kept in prison or limited in any way except by the mind that thought it. For it remains joined to its source, which is its jailer or its liberator, according to which it chooses as its purpose for itself. How about that?
The holy instant as the altar to the living presence. Or the process of making lovely. Did you hear it?
Yeah.
To see the living miracle of our relationship, of our connectedness to all things and all beings. And we need the birds and the trees and the flowers and we need all of it. And everything, it's all, wow, it turns out it's all necessary. That's because you can't separate any of it out. And it's letting our errors go, like our misperceptions about ourselves, the ways we cringe, the way we learn about ourselves. We go, oh my God, I did that. Do it, and then change. Make up your mind, and see it differently, and then do something different. Be careful. The warning here is to be careful tying your happiness to the condition or performance of a body. And that's your body or anyone else's body as well. If you do that, you become a jailer. Yours and theirs. You become a jailer. So this is what I wrote. Peace is attained through faith in others. We're being asked to have faith in what joins us and not in what separates us. Happiness is togetherness in this deep living presence. This is a lifestyle and a way of walking and interacting with others. We begin with the intent for the conditions of peace and the experience of joy, which is our natural inheritance, as the living presence of God. We get sidetracked in our mission, attempting to repair objects, like bodies and buildings. We over-identify with our bodies, our possessions, and even other people's bodies. it's difficult to see correctly, much less make a good decision when we think that we're in competition with these other bodies for limited resources. The prescription is to become radically present in our relationships, to see the radical joy that we find all around us as us. We join others in consciously creating the world we want to experience. The Holy Garden and nothing else. Are you here with me to build the Holy Garden?
Yes.
You want to build the this present living moment that the Course describes as the Holy Garden? Tina, you want to speak? Oh yes, she's yes, giving us yes, yes. I know, and amen, right?
Hallelujah.
That's what's because she contrasts this to the withered kingdom, the little withered kingdom, or the Holy Garden. That's quite a contrast.
Yeah.
You know, the little withered garden of the ego that rules over a place or a thing like this body or an apartment, or the living presence. That's God, the Garden of Eden, right? The holy garden of this present where everybody's here and nothing is lacking.
Everybody's here.
And it's like, oh, I can settle back. We're all safe. If everybody's here, we're all working together, and everybody wants the same thing, peace on earth, right? Everybody wants peace on earth, right? I'm Reverend Glen Ganaway, your favorite anarchist preacher, and this is the love of my life, the Reverend Yolanda, and you're here at Mighty Companions, and we are so grateful for your practice.
We are. Yay!
So glad that you are here.
Yay, awakening together.
Awakening.
We love you. Happy 10-year anniversary.
Happy 10th anniversary. Stay tuned all night, and remember to stay. You really do stay tuned.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Right.
To what's next. Stay tuned.
Enlightened leadership is next.